Welcome to Off the Sacred podcast. This is your host Wondesen. In this podcast, I will summarize and present long classic literature, history, and philosophical works for people in a hurry. This is not meant to replace or substitute reading or reflection, but to stimulate it. In this episode of the Sacred Podcast, I will explore Faust by Goethe. Stay tuned. Faust is the story of a man who has everything: knowledge, education, prestige, and finds it insufficient. Goethe's Faust asks a terrifying question: what happens when the human thirst for meaning outgrows every moral boundary? This is not merely a tale about selling one's soul, it's about modern humanity's restless hunger for experience, mastery, and transcendence. Goethe lived at the crossroads of worlds. He inherited Christian theology, Enlightenment rationalism, classical humanism, emerging modern individualism. Faust took him nearly 60 years to complete. This work contains a lifetime of struggle between faith and reason, restraint and desire, humility and ambition. If Paradise Lost asks why humanity fell, Faust asks whether humanity can ever be satisfied. Faust is a scholar who has mastered philosophy, medicine, law, and theology, and yet he despairs. Books no longer satisfy him, reason feels hollow, faith feels distant. He does not want knowledge about life, he wants life itself, fully, intensely, without limits. Faust embodies the modern condition: intellectual mastery without existential peace, intellectual mastery without existential peace. Faust turns to magic, not superstition, but control. He wants access to the force behind reality. This is crucial. Faust does not reject truth, he rejects human limitation. Goethe presents a warning that feels timeless. When reason alone cannot satisfy us, we may abandon wisdom altogether. Mephistopheles is not a roaring demon. He is clever, polite, ironic. He mocks idealism and exposes hypocrisy. He calls himself the spirit that denies. Unlike Milton's Satan, Mephistopheles does not rebel out of pride. He corrodes meaning through cynicism. He represents a modern danger, the belief that nothing is truly sacred. The famous bargain is not about money or power. Faust says, if ever he is so satisfied that he says, "Stay, you are so beautiful," then he deserves damnation. If ever he is so satisfied that he says, "Stay, you are so beautiful," then he deserves damnation. This is not a contract of greed, it is a contract of restlessness. Faust wagers that nothing will ever fulfill him, and Mephistopheles accepts, confident that endless desire leads to moral collapse. Gretchen is the emotional heart of Faust. She is not philosophical, she is not ambitious, she is sincere, moral, and vulnerable. Faust's pursuit of experience destroys her life, her social ruin, family death, imprisonment, and madness. Goethe makes something painfully clear. The consequences of ambition are often paid by the innocents. In prison, Gretchen refuses to escape with Faust. She accepts guilt. She turns toward God. She is saved. This moment shocks many readers. Why is she redeemed? But Faust continues. Because Goethe suggests that humility opens the door to grace, while unchecked striving delays it. In part 2, Faust becomes a man of action: political influence, economic power, engineering, and land reclamation. He builds, he reshapes the world, yet even success does not bring peace. Faust is never content. Goethe shows that achievement without moral clarity multiplies harm. At the end of Faust, something unexpected happens. Faust is saved, not because he was pure, not because he avoided sin, but because he never stopped striving towards meaning beyond himself. Goethe's radical conclusion is this: whoever strives with all his might, that man we can redeem. Salvation comes not from perfection, but from orientation. Faust endures because it captures the modern soul. Knowledge without wisdom, freedom without restraint, desire without rest, progress without peace. Goethe does not condemn striving. He condemns striving without moral responsibility. Faust is not a villain. He is a warning. Faust reminds us that the greatest danger is not evil ambition, but endless dissatisfaction. When nothing is enough, everything becomes expendable. And yet, Goethe leaves us with hope that striving, when turned toward truth rather than ego, can still be redeemed. That struggle, unfinished, imperfect, and human, remains sacred. You have been listening to Of the Sacred podcast. If this reflection spoke to you, subscribe to Of the Sacred podcast for concise insights into classic literature, art, philosophy, and sacred questions for people in a hurry. Your support keeps these conversations alive. Thank you.